All right, welcome to the Rockhound Podcast in person.
For the first time ever.
Yeah, you all can tell, but actually, let's do it this way. So we are in the same room. Like, we're not just doing like a...
this isn't camera
call.
trickery, yeah.
Unfortunately, Karen and Kurt cannot join us. We were hoping that they could, but Karen's going to be in, I think, a couple days later.
We missed her by like 5 days, and it sucks. Like, seriously sucks.
Hey, at least we can give her some pointers.
Yeah, yes, we can actually. Like, don't spend $1,300 on 2 VIP lanes.
But it was fun.
I think it was still worth it, honestly. I don't regret spending the money because we found awesome stuff.
Yeah, a lot of work cut out for. I think you actually probably got more than I did.
Yeah, I think so. There was that one rock. I had one rock that was like one of the biggest boulders in the second lane. And it's like every time I split a layer, I was like, oh, there's 2. Split another. Oh, there's another one. Oh, hey, there's 2 more. And then that one just had like 4 right on the top. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Basically what happens, because I don't think that video's probably going to come out until like later.
I'm probably going to edit mine tonight. Well, I'm doing 2 videos a week now, so like I figure that might be a good Wednesday video.
I should do. I have a couple beach videos, so my video will probably come out a little bit later.
Yeah.
Because I have a couple beach videos. I have actually a second beach video after I met up with Karen.
Yeah.
That I haven't even released yet because like I was wanting to get some of the woods I polished up before I finished the video.
Gotcha.
And then I actually have a video with Jared and Sarah in the background.
Oh,
so
cool. That's awesome.
So
I was going to say, you guys met up like a long time ago.
Was it March?
Yeah.
May?
I was like, I remember that. I totally thought, I don't know why my brain was like, yeah, you posted that video already.
No, like I waited. I told Jared, I was like, hey, I'll wait for yours to come out before I post mine.
There you go.
But yeah, it was fun. But this was even also really fun because like this is we get to meet each other.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man.
And then Montana Rock Mom is she's not with us in the podcast.
Yeah. She is in her room. Like, this is weird. I don't know if I should look at you or the camera because my instincts as a YouTuber tell me, like, look straight into the camera, but I never mind. I'm just going to look at you. So
yeah, it works.
It sucks because while we were at Kemmerer, it was just sunny, like super bright and sunny, and the dust was crazy. So, like, at Kemmerer, there's like a 5-inch deep layer of just dust. That's just what the soil is. And then the wind kicked up. It was easily like 25-mile-an-hour winds at one point. So it's just like whipping you in the face with dust, and yeah, Kim's eyes are not happy right now. So she could not be here with us, but she is here with us
in spirit.
In spirit, yes, like 5 rooms away.
But yeah, it was super fun. It was longer journey for me. I think you guys had like what 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah, and we still somehow managed to make that like a 13-hour endeavor. Like we left at 7 a.m.
But you also stopped, like...
We stopped like 3 times, but yeah, we left at like 7 a.m. and we didn't get to the hotel until like 10:30. It might have been like 11-ish by the time we rolled in.
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. Because I got here before you guys did. And I'm because we stayed in Little America. Because like Kemmerer was all booked up because they had a music festival this weekend.
Which is so random.
I know. In the middle of nowhere. Like.
Yeah. A town with a population of like 2,000 people.
Yeah. So we went there, and then I had food.
We felt so bad because we were out of reception that entire time, and then when we finally got back to reception, I got like all of the messages from you and Jane. You're like, "Hey, I'm 78 miles out. I think I'm gonna beat you guys to Kemmerer." All right, I'm in Kemmerer. Are you guys staying in Little America? No response. All right, I'm going to go to Little America. Hey, I'm in Little America. I don't know how late you guys are going to be. I'm going to go get dinner. Here's a picture of my dinner. It's like, oh no. Kyle's been waiting for like 3 hours for us.
It's okay. Everyone has been doing a lot of driving, so
yeah.
Like, I understand. Like,
I think it was just that Kim and I are like little kids when we get together, and we really are really, really bad about like staying on top of time. So, like, our first stop, we were like, there's jaspers everywhere, and they're all fortification jaspers with, like, quartz pockets and, like, chalcedony, and they're rainbow-colored. This is amazing. So, it was supposed to be our, like, 30-minute stop, and we were probably there for 2 hours. And then the next place, it was supposedly there was pink and red granite, and epidote, really, really nice aventurine, which we to be fair, we found all that stuff. There was also jaspers, like crazy jaspers, agates, but the most exciting thing was the banded iron. And I have a picture on my phone, so I'll send it to you so we can pop it up right here. That stuff is wild.
5 minutes, 44 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
I'll have a notepad out here.
So yeah, that stuff is wild. If you guys don't know what banded iron is, it's a medium, like some kind of rock with bands of hematite running through it. And in Wyoming, that medium, it's different depending on where you are. Sometimes it's quartz, sometimes it's like different kinds of chalcedony or even like other minerals or rocks. But in Wyoming, the reason Wyoming banded iron is so like high end is because those bands in between the hematite are jasper. So you get, when you cut it, you'll have these like bright orange, bright yellow, bright red bands, and in between that is just like these bright silver layers. Like, it's so cool, and they take an amazing polish. We were like finding little chunks like this and getting so excited, and then we went around the corner and started finding chunks like this, and we were like, oh my god.
It's like ditching the small ones.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we literally like didn't collect any of the other stuff there. Like, I kept a little bit of the aventurine, and then once we started finding the banded iron, we're like, all right, I'm ignoring everything else other than this banded iron because this stuff is nuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out of here. Like, I wouldn't mind coming back to do some more exploring.
Wyoming is awesome.
Yeah,
like Wyoming has so much. It's once you pass Lander, I'm less familiar. I'd never gone that far before, but like that whole north end and the southeast end of Wyoming, I've explored a lot. This is actually like the only corner of Wyoming I haven't explored. So this is cool to like knock this one off the list, but. Wyoming is next level when it comes to rock hounding, especially in that stretch between like Warland all the way down to Lander. There's just agates everywhere, jaspers everywhere, and they're all real nice. Like, I don't know, I think a lot of places I get, like, I'm spoiled between Montana and Wyoming because you see jaspers in other places and it's just like one color. And then you get places here, and it's just like, this rock is a literal rainbow with fortification agate pockets inside of it. And then we went and hunted for common opal, dendritic opal, and it's actually the source for Sweetwater agate.
Nice. Which
is really cool because usually you can only find it out like in the prairie, and it's all like little tiny nodules. But there you're finding like chunks like this.
Wow.
Where it's the Sweetwater moss agate, which is a perfectly clear. I've talked about this in videos before. I don't know why we call some agates agate. Random. This is a podcast, so there's going to be tangents.
Yeah,
that's got to happen. I don't know why we call some agates agate. Like prairie agate, South Dakota prairie agate is a great example of that. There's no banding. It's not transparent or translucent. So why do we call it agate? I don't know. That's just what people call it. So I just roll with it. Sweetwater agate is the same way because, a defining trait of agate is banded chalcedony.
Yeah.
There is no banding in Sweetwater agate. It is just dendritic.
That's cool.
It's like a clear, like really, really clear, sometimes whitish, but usually really clear chalcedony that has just dark black branching dendrites, and they're really, really cool. But they're not technically agates. I think it would be dendritic chalcedony, but everyone just calls them agates, so I don't argue with it.
Well, that's the hard part, too, because like when we were looking for the blue forest wood, just like surface collecting.
Yeah.
There was so much, I was calling it chert, but like now I'm wondering like if it's just considered chalcedony because it's not quite chert.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like a weird mix of like, not really jasper, but not really agate. It's like a weird in between, but like inside my head I'm like, it's all SiO2. It's all quartz.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like still, it was everywhere. Like you could like part of me was considered like just fill up a bucket of just that.
Yeah, it was cool stuff.
There's at one point I took a video of like a river of it, just like everywhere.
There's so much of it.
I'm like, I don't need it.
Yeah, I kept reminding myself that we're here for other stuff. Just stay focused. It was cool though, because like some of that chert had like bright colors, but was also like they'd have a thick layer of hematite on the top. Like they'd have like a metallic shine to it, which is really, really different. I'm honestly kind of mad that I didn't grab at least a couple of pieces of this stuff because I think I was just too laser focused. So I know we talked about this last time, but the thing we did yesterday was Blue Forest.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't think we mentioned it. Yeah, we did Blue Forest yesterday.
Part of it is like we're both just kind of like a little fried from being in the sun like literally all day because we did Blue Forest yesterday, dug all day.
Literally from like, what was it? Like we got there about 9 and we left at 7.
Yeah, about 7.
So yeah, and it was over 100 degrees.
Yup.
And we dug literally the entire time.
Yeah.
And that was much harder digging than I was expecting. Like that was some intense digging.
But we talked about it like earlier. Like it's best that we did it yesterday, not today.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Because towards the end of yesterday, we're looking forward to today. Because like, okay, tomorrow all we gotta do is split rocks.
Yeah.
And like they already bring the rocks to us.
Yeah, exactly. What was it you said? Sit and split?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did. Sit and split. Like, because it's not necessarily easy digging and splitting at the rocks at Kemmerer, but I think our brains after the Blue Forest was like, oh, this is a cakewalk compared to the digging we were doing yesterday. That was intense.
It was still a lot of work.
It was, for sure.
They gave us some, because we bought the private dig, which is great, because we're trying to figure out like if it was like from a special part of the mine, and we're guessing it's not. It's just kind of, it's a private dig, so you have a private spot, so you don't have people just kind of like weaving around you or like working next to you.
Yeah, so there's like a big yard where there's a bunch of rock that they bring down from the quarry, and that's what everyone is digging from. The private one is like off to the side, and you get your own lane of like big rocks to split. I noticed that the rocks in the VIP or the private area, they are way bigger than they were in the main area. So like those big boulders we were splitting where we were finding a bunch, there weren't any of those in the main area.
See, that's good to know. Were there any like when they first started the day?
Yeah, I noticed that. There weren't actually. The lanes on the private section had bigger rocks. I think like the average was like that on the other side. Gotcha. They had some bigger than that, but certainly not like the boulders we were splitting. Some of those were huge.
No, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Which we left 2 behind because we ran out of time.
So it was so funny, Coach. So they said that typically it'll take 10 people to like get through one of those VIP lanes like quickly. And typically 3 people digging won't get through all of it in their 8-hour day. We got through all of our lane in 4 hours, and then we're like, well, now we're out of rock to split. Let's just buy the lane next to it.
Well, to be fair too, like we took a gander at the lane next to us, and like there was like fish just sitting right on top of these big blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And they're like, there's another place you can, go split rock too. There's a chance of being fish in there also. And I literally said to Kim, I was like, I think after how much digging we did yesterday, I am willing to pay extra for the low-hanging fruit because I'm too tired to go split more rocks that are like, that's a gamble. At least in the VIP lanes, we know we're going to find something. Literally because we saw the fish on the surface. And those were the ones that I kept finding all the death plates. Like, I got like 4 or 5 death plates that had like a minimum of 4 fish on it.
I do give them a lot of credit though, because like they were not kind enough to be like, hey, we feel bad if you spent this extra money.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And, possibly not get anything big. Whereas you can just come over here and dig, if you happen to finish your lane. Which if we had done that, like we would have been done like what by noon with our pile?
We finished our pile like 100% at 12:30. They closed at 4. So like. We had like 3.5 hours left, and we're like, well, crap, what do we do now? So let's just go get it.
But it was fun. Everyone there was really nice.
Super nice. The owner came and talked to us, and I'm very impressed with American Fossil. They were great people, and I'm absolutely going to be going back. Like that was a really good experience.
They offered us jobs.
They did. Yeah, the owner came by, and at first. I saw, like, we were 2 hours in, and I saw all the fish on the surface of the other lane, and I came back, and I'm like, all right, guys, wheels are turning. My irresponsible wheels are turning. What do we think about buying this other lane? And Kyle and Kim are like, well, I'm kind of interested. Let's see how fast we get through this first. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go ask the guy if it's, like, an option anyway. And he's like, well... He seemed flabbergasted. Like, I don't think anyone's ever asked that before. And he's like,
what? Well, they warned us too. It's like, hey, just so you know, if you happen to separate from your pile before you're done, or just in general, if you start digging on this other pile, we're going to have to charge you for that fee to dig on this other lane.
So that in my brain was like, okay, well that means the other lane is an option if we want it. They'll probably say that as a warning, and my brain's like, all right, cool. Well, that's a backup plan that we have in the hole. All right. But no, so I went and asked him, and he just kind of seemed surprised. He was like, I mean, yeah, we'll see how far you get, and
we'll see.
And there's another pile over there that you're welcome to dig through. But I mean, yeah, if you want it, we'll see how far you get. When you finish that, come and get me. So halfway done with our time, we finish our lane, and I go up and get him. I haven't even said that I want to get the next lane yet. The first thing he says is man, you guys are ripping through that lane. It's you guys are doing it right too. So
we weren't messing around.
Yeah, no, we were not. So we get the next lane. And I think we were 2 hours into digging the second lane, and the owner comes up, and he's literally okay, I got to know what you guys do. I have never seen anyone dig this private dig the way you guys are. So I don't think you guys have taken a break once. No, I got a water at one point, but no, I wasn't been rocking the whole time.
I was working off a breakfast burrito, and that was a bunch of water, and that was it.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't stop either. I'm no, I'm here to work.
Yeah, he's I've never seen anyone clear material in the private section as efficiently as you guys are, and we're oh, okay, thank you. And then there was a pause, and he's you guys want jobs for August and September? It's miles closer, sure, man.
For me, it's yeah, if I didn't have a family, sure, it'd be one thing.
Yeah.
But I have responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, that'd be actually... And so, he explained, how it works. So, basically, once people get done with their private dig, the employees go back through and kind of double-check everything. So, they'll cut things down, they'll split things more, because, they're boulders, and they can
huge boulders.
Yeah, and they said that they can actually split things down to super super thin.
Yeah, paper thin. It's crazy.
And what they'll do, they'll even take cross sections to kind of check for more stuff, which because they were showing how to use a saw.
Yeah, yeah. He literally demonstrated that.
Because the thing is, one of the rules is you don't use the hammers on the stones, because if there is a fossil of significant value, they don't want it damaged.
Exactly.
Which, at first, it didn't quite make sense to us. But
I didn't really get that until he explained it, later on.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense after that.
Yeah, that makes much more sense, because he took just the example piece that he cut. The cross section, you can actually see, the thin layer of, the spine of a fish, and he's just tap, 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 and then, the exposed fish.
Perfectly popped open.
And it makes a lot of sense now, because they find not just, fish is the majority of it. I think it seems 99% fish.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're saying they found a couple snakes over the last couple of years, something like that.
Yeah.
Super rare.
Yeah.
Salamander.
They said they found several lizards this year, which is super cool. He was we haven't found any birds yet this year. That's kind of disappointing. I think there's birds?
Yeah, I think they said I found a couple partial.
Oh, yeah,
birds.
Yeah. No, complete birds. Yeah, that's right.
But
that's so cool.
Yeah, we were wanting to find a stingray.
Stingray is oh my gosh, that is my big bucket list rock fossil anything.
Yeah, we got as close as found an imprint on top of the big boulder in the pile next to us when we first started. Mm-hmm. And so it became a scramble to find the bottom of one of the other big boulders that could have had that other side of the imprint.
Because that is unquestionably a stingray. You can see the perfect ring and the stem. And we even showed it to the employees when they came to check on us, and they were like, yeah, that's definitely what that is. But they actually had an example, which is why I thought that might be what it was, up on their table, because when you first get there, they demonstrate how you're supposed to dig, and they have a bunch of samples up front just to kind of show you what to look out for. And one of their samples is literally, it's not a negative fossil, it's not where the other side where a stingray was. It's literally an impression where a stingray was sitting in the sand, and that impression was preserved. So it's it's super cool.
So now I got one.
Yeah. And that's going to be really cool when you put it in a shadow box.
Yeah, the plan is, assuming that it makes it back okay. If it happens to break, because it was starting to split,
yeah.
I see a fracture line already appearing, because what happens is it can dry out, and then even just handling it very careful. You can be as careful as you want.
That stuff falls apart.
Yeah. And so before I get off track. So the idea is to glue it back together if it breaks, and then put it in a shadow box, but have LEDs above it, so like it'll actually light up.
Cast a shadow.
To cast shadow like where the stingray is, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be so cool. But I also want to like put a label on there. I was telling Theo this that I should like label it the stingray that could have been.
Exactly.
The one that got away.
Pretty much.
But that got our hopes up, and then I thought I found it. I thought I found a stingray.
There was almost a rift in the friendship. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was equal parts happy for you and equal parts devastated. I was like, no.
But then I was equally as devastated when the guy at work says, "Yeah, no, that's just the plan."
Yeah.
I was like, "But there's a bump here."
And those guys, I gotta give them, like, obviously, they do it every day for a living, so it's to be expected, but man, do those guys know their stuff.
Yeah.
Because he took one look at that and he's like, where's the other side of it? Like the top side. Took one look at the top side, he's like, yeah, that's a plant.
Yeah.
Like, how could you know that? And he starts explaining, it's like, well, plants don't have like a lump and a negative like that. There will just be another lump on top of that and then another on top of that and so on, because it's like stretching all of the stuff above it. So he took like a 5-second glance at that rock and ID'd it instantly. But I mean, it's in my video and it's in your video. That looked so much like a stingray.
It's like, oh, equally as heartbreaking. I mean, I've been there. I've had people say, "Hey, is this fire obsidian?" I'm like, "No, that's an internal fracture in the obsidian."
Exactly, yeah.
So I've been in that position before. It's like, no, sorry, that's not
I hate to be that guy,
but I do want to go back for sure, because
totally
plan in advance.
That was nothing but a good experience the whole time. Like, all the fossils were top notch. I'm bummed we didn't get anything rare, but I mean, that's to be expected with a dig like that. It's a gamble. Like, there's no guarantees, which again speaks to the legitimacy of it. Like, they're not out there seeding stuff, Like, oh, someone finds something crazy every time. It's like, that's fishy when someone finds, I see what I did there. Unintentional pun. But yeah, I was very impressed with American Fossil. I will absolutely be going back regularly.
Yeah, and everyone was really nice there too.
Yeah.
They have porta potties, so if you worry about like having to find a tree somewhere, don't worry about it. They got porta potties. So.
And yeah, anyone like free to use lapidary saws. So you can actually cut down, like, because I had so many pieces where they're like a piece of slate, like literally like this big, and there's one fish like this on it. So you can take it over to the saw and cut it out into a square like that, which is so much easier to transport.
Do you have to be over 18 to operate the saws?
Yes, you do. Because
they don't. I mean, lapidary saws are pretty quick, pretty safe, but these ones run at a higher RPM than your typical like lapidary saw.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're not. It's on a sliding tray. I mean, at least one that we had at our station. I'm pretty sure all the other ones were the same way too.
Yeah, I think they were all the same.
Which is really, really helpful, because otherwise...
so helpful.
But yeah, it's on a sliding tray, and if you have to hold both sides of the stone. If you don't hold one side, it's going to take the smaller piece of that rock and it's going to send it.
Well, and even like it was a little sketchy on some of those, because like some of those that had internal fractures, I had two.
They'll like blow out.
Yeah, it blew out, and then it gripped the blade, and like out of nowhere you're like getting it like pulled forward, and it's like, yeah, you gotta hold on tight, because like that rock isn't stable.
And one of the other things too is if you dig in the public area, I mean, they give you a table for the private section too. But there's a lot of petroleum in the host rock, so like once you split it, sometimes you can get a whiff of petroleum, like gasoline.
Yeah, like literally.
Yeah. But you have to set it out to dry a little bit, because they have all these like drying racks that you can actually put out there. Because sometimes when it's too wet, it'll just like crumble, fall apart. I
had several that I had dug earlier in the day, and when I was going to take them to the saw, I picked it up and it just like literally fell apart in my hand. Like, it was crazy, which was handy, because I think only one got ruined that way. All the other ones like broke apart into smaller, more manageable chunks. I was like, all right, perfect, because they have the don't hit it with hammer rules. So it's like, all right, this is just a more manageable size now.
Yeah, think of about it this way: soak a graham cracker and then try to pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Ain't gonna happen.
That stuff was so soft.
But
I cannot wait to start prepping some of those, though. They're going to look so good.
They do have little, I mean, I don't know if they always stock it, but I bought, like a little scribe kit.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's a metal engraver, but the thing is, like, they tell you, like, after you dig your fossils, you have to wait at least 3 weeks for them to fully dry out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just come up with, like, a toothpick or a dental pick and just, like, very, like, careful, like, pry away, like, the sandstone. Even... Technically, I probably didn't have to get like the tool.
Yeah,
but
it helps so much.
Yeah, especially for like the bigger stuff, like right above it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Because some of those layers, it's cool because you can actually like. Usually, most of the fossils you split, you're gonna open up a layer where there's like fish right here, fish negative right here. But some of those layers, you split it and you just see like a line with kind of like a staining around it, and that line is actually the spinal column of the fish underneath another layer, and those are like best case scenario because for a fact when you prep that is going to be a perfect condition fish because it hasn't been like exposed to anything. Like that's perfect.
I kept it to you like that too.
I did too, yeah. And those are going to be real nice.
So if you find something like that, if you happen to go, you find something like that, do not touch it any further.
Yeah, save it exactly how it is, let it dry, and then the lady inside said, like, literally just use an X-Acto knife. Like, you shouldn't need anything more than that.
No, it's super soft stuff. And then I read on the prep kit that actually comes like glue too to help with make it more stable.
I bet it's that stuff that Ma'am Lambo uses that I always forget the name of. Is it like B something 40?
B72.
B72.
Yeah.
B something 40.
My brain, thank you.
B72. I actually need to order some of that because it will help a lot. Because when fossils like that dry out, they lose their luster.
Yeah.
And those are a fossil you want shining because that. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. Time out for 5 seconds. It's okay. I just wanted to make sure I was right and not like saying stupid wrongness. Okay. So back into it. So Green River is a Lagerstätten, and a Lagerstätten is a biome that goes through rapid deaths, basically. The most famous one, the two most famous ones are Green River and the Messel Pit in Germany. And basically, their equal quality comes out of the Messel Pit as Green River. And so I don't know specifically what was the case. I assume it was similar in Green River, but in Messel, it was a lake, a freshwater lake, and there was most likely huge methane pockets underneath the lake. It was also in an area with a lot of seismic activity. So whenever there was that, methane would build up underwater. And because it's actually more dense than water.
Yeah.
So it would just sit at the bottom of the lake. And whenever there was like a seismic shift or like temperature change would make it like rise to the surface, or like an earthquake would make it like break loose. Like it's like imagine you have a bunch of bubbles on the inside of your soda. If you like smack it down, they all go to the surface. So what that wave of methane would do is it would kill everything. Everything that it passed, like every fish would die in an instant. Any turtle, anything in the water, anything drinking from the water, anything flying over the water would die in that moment. Like in Messel, they literally find, if you want to know how fast it kills those animals, they have specimens of turtles mating.
Wow.
Yeah. So
not a way to go.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why there are such just a huge number of those fossils, because they are repeated instances of mass death. And one of the unique things about Lagerstättens is usually they have a coat of a mineral called siderite, which is what, like, you notice that like reddish, shiny, like almost chatoyant, like coppery kind of. Yeah. That's siderite, and siderite is like bar none the best preserved fossils, because it's the fossil's bone are actually underneath that siderite layer. So the siderite makes a more well-defined fossil, but it also preserves the fossil underneath that crystal layer.
Nice.
So that all of this tangent aside is to say that having the ones that are underneath that top layer is actually ideal because they are going to be perfect siderite coated fossils underneath that. So it's pretty cool.
I want to explain why they find like all kinds of other animals like birds and everything else.
Yeah, like
birds, bats,
alligators and turtles,
insects.
Insects. Like there's so much that comes out of Green River.
Fish still eating fish.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that where like they had like one fish had another fish in its mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that only happens in an instant. Like, it's crazy. Lagerstättens are really, really fascinating. If any of you want to learn more about Lagerstättens, PBS Eons has an awesome video about the Messel Pit, and I don't know what the name of it is, so you'll just have to look through all of PBS Eons videos until you find the one I'm talking about.
But yeah, definitely want to go back, and definitely recommend it.
Oh, absolutely. 100% recommended. So I guess we should talk about I want to say day 2, but it was day yesterday.
Day
exactly. Blue Forest, man. Oh my gosh. That was wild.
So, our best advice, if you've never been there before, you might go out and explore, which is great. Our best advice is go dig existing holes.
Yeah.
That way you kind of get an idea of what to look for. And
absolutely.
We're still kind of new to it, and like our guesses, because like if you were to look at an existing pit, you'll have like the top layer, then you have like a bunch of shale, but then after a certain layer, you don't really get a whole lot of shale. You get like just like red dirt, just like dirt, sand, and like stuff like that. And so there's a lot of it gets pretty deep.
It does, yeah, like super deep.
So just bring plenty of water.
Oh my gosh.
Shade.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's something I never do when I go rock hounding. Me and Kim kind of just thought about it last minute. We brought my 10x10 canopy, and oh my gosh, that made a world of difference. We set it up so that it was just over the main hole we were digging, and even though there was just like shade on that one hole, it was literally like 10 degrees cooler down there. Oh my gosh. It made a huge difference.
But yeah, dig other people's holes first so you get an idea, because otherwise if you start a new hole somewhere else, you're gonna be digging. Some of those holes go pretty deep, and we had to move a lot of material just to get an existing hole.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. Theo got a nice log. Kim got a nice log. But also check tailings.
We found so much stuff on the surface. It's crazy.
And was it a lot of algae, stromatolites, like everywhere?
That's actually, I wanted to talk about that too. It's weird. It was almost like the wood was in concretions. Like when you're digging, you get past the shale layer and you hit that red soil. In between the red soil, underneath the shale, you'll sometimes just come to these big blobs that are super hard. When you break those, that's actually fossil algae. Like, it's like stromatolite. And inside of that is what you're going to find the wood in. Like, splitting that stuff open is where the wood is. And, I found that. I can't wait to prep that thing. Like, that, I found a little stick. It's only like an inch in diameter, but it's like 7 inches long. And
it's beautiful.
It's completely... all of the bark is perfectly intact, like the texture's perfect, but it is completely replaced with blue chalcedony, and it might be one of my favorite pieces I've ever found at this point. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to clean that thing off. But I also did spend like 3.5 hours digging out one piece, and that one piece was about a 3-foot long agonized log. Oh my gosh.
It took a while.
It was a long, that was slow going.
I think I still got like 15 minutes of footage of like you trying to get it out.
I forgot about that. Let's just put that up right now.
Save that for after hours.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was fun. So now when we go back, kind of know what to look for.
Exactly, yeah.
Because like we were trying to explore a different spot away from like everyone else's holes.
Yeah.
Figured we could just find a new spot, no big deal. Not that easy.
That's a bold statement when you've never been there before. So we literally like pull up, we see all the holes, and we're like, I don't want to go where everyone else has been. I want to find my own spot. So we go further up the road and surface collect and find some really, really nice chalcedony on the surface, and then we're like, all right, well,
rivers of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're like, all right, let's try digging right here. We start digging, and then we both kind of look at each other, and we're like, I don't know what to look for. I don't know if this
How
is
deep
right
are we
not.
digging?
Yeah, exactly. So we're like, maybe we should go back up to the holes and like maybe there's a bunch of holes there for a reason.
Now, it would be a different story if you had plenty of time to camp, and then that way you can start your own hole, because it would take a long time just to dig it.
Oh, heck yeah.
But no, utilize other holes.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't just do that right off the bat.
Well, now we know for next time. We can
heck yeah.
Start early and just pick a hole that looks like it's... Go for the hole. You're supposed to really fill in as much as you can. And because the holes that we dug were on existing holes, and we just kind of knocked in the dirt that we basically dug out. So they weren't completely filled in, but we filled them in the best we could.
Yeah.
But look for the deeper holes that you can possibly get.
Yeah, because you want to be underneath that shale, and I noticed some spots that shale goes deep.
Yeah, there's other holes that they're filled in, but there is just piles of shale all the way around what used to be a hole.
Yeah, you can tell that was probably 4 or 5 feet of shale before they even got past the shale into the good stuff where the wood is going to be.
But again, check the tailings, because
dude, I was just about to say, Kim only dug for maybe an hour out of the whole day. She was just walking around surface collecting. I think she found potentially better stuff than either of us.
Yeah.
She found crazy stuff just on the surface and discard piles.
Yeah.
I think once my log is repaired, it might be technically the best thing that we found, just because it's so big. But oh my gosh, the amount of rounds she found, the amount of I knew there was calcite that grows around the wood.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was blue chalcedony and really well preserved petrified wood. I didn't know that there was full on quartz geode pockets inside. She kept coming up with isolated pockets of that stuff. And it's just a perfect slab of blue agate that has these big quartz points. And she's like, check this out. We're like, what the hell? How are you finding this stuff? She walks up with a round about this big, about that round, and it's just covered in blue. You can see perfect wood ring, or the wood grain on the end on each side, and it's just surrounded in blue chalcedony. But covered in bots, full on bots all the way around it. I'm like, what the heck?
She did have a really good nose for different holes.
She did, yeah.
She found the hole that you were digging in.
Yep.
And then I had noticed one hole that she actually ended up digging that log out of.
Yeah, the stump she got. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're this hole looks pretty deep, and there's fresh dirt on it. So someone was just digging there. But she decided to go at it, and she got a pretty nice little log out of there.
Heck yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't go very far back. I think it was only about that tall, but who cares? That thing was like that, I think.
Yeah.
And it was completely hollow. It was filled in with dirt. We put my spray bottle in it and completely cleared all the dirt out. Bots all the way through. There's just a big void of bots that surround because it's that stuff's weird. It's agate rings the whole, covers the whole of the wood, and then inside the agate, that's actually the petrified wood. And yeah, oh my gosh, this stuff's crazy. I actually kept some of the algae too, because I really want to cut that stuff, because it literally just looks like high-end stromatolite.
I think I might cut a couple pieces too, because I was a little curious as well. I mean, it's hard not to, especially when it has all the intricate details
it's
and
so
lines.
It's nice looking.
And I'm like, you know what? Why not? I'll just throw it in the bucket and see if it'll take a polish.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if it does, hey, that's cool.
Oh heck yeah! I mean, I think that stuff, that given the 3 hours I spent splitting that big one out, I'm well acquainted. That stuff is hard.
Yeah.
So it should take a polish, honestly. I would expect it to.
Let's go back for stromatolite next
time. The funny thing is, if that's all you wanted, you could load up in 10 minutes. Because that's all of the discard piles is all of the algae that's surrounding the wood. That was crazy though.
Kind of reminds me of up in Sweet Home, because everyone's looking for rounds. They don't care about the other wood.
Yeah.
And so people will dig these massive holes. They find these chunks of wood, and some people take certain ones home. I forgot the name of the type of wood, but basically herringbone, where the wood just does this.
Oh, the zigzags. Yeah.
So people will take that home, but a lot of times they'll just find big chunks. But if they're not perfectly round, they'll just throw them aside.
And that's me and Kim were talking about that on our way back to the hotel when we were done. When I went to the rock shed, there was a regular there that Sean, the owner, introduced me to, and he's he specializes in teepee canyon agate. Like, that's all he hunts is teepee canyon agate and, like, you know, similar fortification agates. And we started really, really talking because he spent 3 days at Bear Canyon. He's like, I just went up to Montana for a little bit, spent a bunch of time at Bear Canyon. I thought you would, you know all the good stuff, so let me pick your brain. So in return, he gave me a bunch of tips for teepee canyon, and it's I think a similar thing with Blue Forest. So, like, you have your, what I call the regulars, like the locals or the people that, like, don't live too far away, where that's, like, what they do on the weekends. They go out there. All they care about is, in Teepee Canyon's case, if it's just red, they don't want it. Like, they have no interest in just reds. They want the pinks, they want the whites, and they want the yellows, because that's where the real, like, rare quality is. I think it's similar with the Blue Forest. They don't care about the rounds that are this big. They're looking for these, you know. So anything short of a perfect round that's a good size is going into the discard pile, which means if you walk the surface, you can find a ton of stuff that the regulars have no interest in. You know?
Well, the thing is too, there's something for everybody. Like,
oh, totally. Yeah.
I've the same ranch over there in Sweet Home. There'd be people there that they can find something that you might think is, like, it's kind of ugly or not even worth taking home.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, no, I would never take that. Someone else will.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, all the different colors, which is great, because that's why it's always nice to have, like, a hobby where, like, even though you might not like something or I might not like something, someone will like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's always something for everyone out there.
Like, if you don't like Blue Forest wood, walk around. There is plenty of that Kellison out there.
I was so blown away because everything that I've looked up about the Blue Forest, like the Rock.Hounding.Wyoming book, a bunch of blogs, everyone talks about how rare the blue is. That you just can't really find blue anymore.
We're newbies. We found some.
We found so much. I mean, I was blown away by how much of the blue was just right on the surface, like no digging required. It's just all over.
And that could have been the case, like, a long time ago, like when it first just got started within, like, the first few decades or whatever. Mm-hmm. It might have been super easy to find stuff just, like, laying on the surface or next to the surface that had maybe, like, weathered out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's better back then than it is now, and we're just like, well, this is still good.
Yeah, you want the good stuff. You gotta work for it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, for sure. But I think it's when we were planning the trip, I told Kim we were going to do Blue Forest. She has the Rock.Hounding.Wyoming book, and she, like, messaged me in a panic, and she's like, but why'd you get me all excited about the Blue Forest? We're not really going to find anything. The book says, like, you don't find blue anymore. And I was like, don't listen to that book. Rock.Hounding.Wyoming is a great book for sites, like, for directions to sites. I don't know. I don't want to throw shade here, but I don't know what it is with that author, but he downplays everything like crazy. Well, every spot in that book, he's like, you may find this. You may get lucky and find a piece that's worth your time. And then you go there and it's just like, you're just going to be swimming in high quality cutting material. And it's like, what are you talking about, man? I think I think my personal theory, I told Kim this too, is that I think he's like, I don't want to make this sound too good because I don't want people to go out of their way to go to this spot because I don't want them to think that it's as good as it actually is.
Well, on the other side of the coin too, it's like all these books that are out there. I'm gonna pick out Staten, Oregon for an example. They got a river that goes through Staten. It's in one of the Rock County books where you can find, like, agate, jasper, specified wood. Yeah. I did not find much of anything because it's public knowledge. It's out there, which means even if it wasn't in the book, I'm sure a lot of locals go down there and, like, they do fishing or they, like, look for rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't find anything. I almost walked into a bald-faced hornet nest there. Oof. But I didn't find, like, a whole lot of anything. Yeah. So you gotta keep in mind, if you see it in a book, chances are the exact direction they give you, it may not be very good. Walk out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But mind your surroundings.
Go explore.
Within reason. Yeah. Don't cut down fences.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that is a good point because the spots that most of the books or what you find on Google for the Blue Forest, it won't take you to where we went. Like, it will take you to the complete other side of the Blue Forest. Yeah. And maybe it's true that there isn't much left, but where we went, there was a ton of stuff. I'm not going to give those directions because they were given to me by a friend in confidence, so I'm not going to, like, Sorry, everyone watching. I'm not gonna make that like public, but yeah, good spot. I'm sure if you just do a little exploring in that area, you'd be able to find it. Just look for all the holes.
Yeah,
they kind of stand out
just a little bit.
Yeah,
but no, it was worth it. It was we were kind of worried that because I rented a car to get out here because 40 miles per gallon is better than like 18.
Yeah, exactly.
But we almost had to see if I had a carpool, but the car was able to make it to the spots,
which I was impressed by.
Me too.
Similarly, I was really impressed that it got up that hill leaving Kemmerer.
I was
when I came around the corner and saw that hill, and I was like, "Dang, that's sketchy, man."
I made it a little. Was it a Toyota Prius?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm driving. It's some kind of little Toyota.
Some kind of car.
I'm like, it's probably just 2-wheel drive. I don't know if it's front or back, but like I made it. Like I got to the hill. I'm like, am I gonna make this? Because parts of the road to the false quarry is like there's some sandy spots just even on the main road.
Yeah.
Which even then I was like,
Yeah, we saw that at one point. Like, I straight up not really, but we almost hit you because you come around, it's like dust. It's not. I wouldn't even call it dirt or soil. Like it's literally just like a thick layer of dust on this road that's like this thick. Kyle drives over it and it creates such a thick cloud that I literally couldn't see the road at all. I'm like, all right, well we're gonna stay about 100 feet back from Kyle now because I literally can't see anything.
I'm like a magician.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and there was like literally because there was a corner right there, so like you can't hit the corner, big puff of smoke clears, you're just gone. Like what the heck? What happened, man?
Ta-da!
It was like this road is weird.
But yeah, it was a fun trip. I definitely want to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Except I'm on the fence about renting hotels next time, maybe just camping. But at the same time,
yeah, honestly, like 3 hotel nights, it wasn't really that bad, price wise. I mean,
surprisingly, this room is probably cheaper for the size and like what I got. Compared.
Oh my gosh, dude! All right, let's go on a. I was gonna say that one picks up. Let's go on a little tour.
Okay.
Kyle got like the King Suite.
So I wasn't paying attention to what exactly I got. So I walk in, and the first thing I see, I see the first 2 beds. I'm like, okay, that sounds about right.
Normal, yeah.
Yeah, they said that I get like a couple beds. I'm like, okay, whatever.
For reference, if this, let me see the frame. Yeah, this is what my room looks like.
Yeah. So I come in like this way, and I figured that might be like a closet or something. I'm like, oh man, what's in here? And I'm like, it's just me. Like,
it's a room within a room.
And then he's like, so Theo got this size room, and then like Kim got.
I think Kim got this size room as well.
Did she maybe have a single? Because like her bed didn't have like any sheets on it, or was it both beds?
Both beds didn't have any sheets on it. And they had cleaning stuff in the bathtub.
Oh,
because they gave her a room that is actually being renovated right now and is actually not like for rent at the moment.
But yeah, I come in here. I'm like, in theory, we could have given Kim the king bed, and like you and I could have had these beds, and like we would have saved a lot of money on that hotel room. But still, this was cheaper than size and like what I got, because I stopped in Ontario, Oregon the first night I'm traveling. I stayed at Roadway Inn, and it'd be like $140, and it smelled like cigarettes, and just I don't want to knock Roadway Inn, but it wasn't a good
experience.
It wasn't a good stay. It was sketchy, and then like this is like really small, and then
the rooms at the Little America were awesome, actually. Like
I liked it. The rooms were clean.
They were super clean, and they were like big. It felt so open. I liked that.
It did give me like a great grandma vibe in there.
Oh, totally. Because it's like it's a super old building, and they kept it mostly original. So like it's kind of cool. I kind of liked it actually.
So if you happen to be staying in either Little America or here in Kemmerer, we're at the Antler Hotel.
Yes.
It's worth it.
It really is, actually.
Yeah.
These rooms are way better than I was expecting.
And it has AC, so I'll be right here. So it's got AC over there. And it's got AC in this room. I stayed in the king room because it was actually a little bit cooler.
But I mean, if I had a private room, that's where I'd be sleeping too.
I was like, oh man, decisions.
I have so many options. It was so funny when we got back yesterday and checked into this hotel. We were all just zombies. We go across. The lobby's closed. So we have to call the someone to come, like, check us in, basically, get our room keys, and roll in, get our keys, walk into our rooms. And I just, like, walk in, and I'm ready to go to sleep. And then Kim just shows up in my room, and she's like, I don't have sheets. We're going. Oh no, we walked up to her room, and she opened the door, and she's like, "This doesn't look right." And I like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, there's literally nothing, like no pillows, no sheets, nothing.
Later, find out the room's under construction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they weren't supposed to. Yeah, be like renting it out, and they did on accident. So she just like wordlessly, like exhausted Kim, just kind of like shuffles into my room. Which bed are you sleeping on? I hadn't thought about it. I guess that one. All right. She just strips my bed, grabs the pillows, has this big, like, armful of linens, and then just wordlessly walks out of the room. Like, I can't.
Yeah, that would suck.
That made me laugh.
Don't forget to let them know that she took your sheets.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was, like, settling in, and I heard a knock on my door, and she's like, there's no towels. I want to take a shower. I think all right, you can have my towel.
And I even heard her, like, in the hallway. I was like, Theo!
Freaking love Kim.
Only downside, I think, to the hotel. The nice hotel. Good prices. Actually pretty clean. There's no elevator.
So if you're digging and you're tired and you're hiking and it's hot and you're exhausted, those stairs are brutal. Oh my god. I almost fell down those stairs this morning. Body was so stiff.
Yeah, and also another thing to note, if you happen to come to Kemmerer, there's not a lot of eateries.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. They got a gas station. They have a Pizza Hut.
Oh my gosh. We gorged ourselves on Pizza Hut last night.
Yeah. I mean, we dug like 8-10 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
Just, like, without really eating.
Well, and we got in at like 8:30 p.m. on a Sunday, so like everywhere was closed. Like Pizza Hut was really our only option other than gas station food.
It was Pizza Hut and Arctic Circle, and I think we decided on Pizza Hut.
Yeah, pretty much.
To be able to sit down. Of course, we're all like covered in dirt.
Yeah.
Like, the lady's like, what would you like to drink? I'm like, just water.
Just need hydration.
It's not like we're in the desert or anything.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's so funny. I've never seen signs like this anywhere else. Everywhere we've gone in Kemmerer has like, take your shoes off if they're muddy.
Yeah.
Or like, if you have dust, don't come in. Or like, wipe your feet off. Like, every building we've got, the Pizza Hut, this hotel, the diner we went to earlier, the hotel at Little America. Like, apparently they just expect people to be filthy in this part of, yeah, exactly.
If you're dirty, don't come in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which, come to think about it, we went to Pizza Hut pretty dirty.
Oh, we were filthy.
So probably a good thing we cleaned up before we went and have dinner at the other place.
Yeah.
So, going back to the eateries, Caribou Cafe.
It was good.
Yeah. I didn't pay attention to the hours for Sundays.
I didn't either. I didn't either.
The food was good. It's probably one of the better places you can go here.
Yeah.
So, and then they get a Mexican restaurant. Was it Taco Time?
Yeah. There was a steak place, but it's been closed like the whole time we've been here.
Yeah. So if you're coming, be prepared.
Be prepared to bring your own food and means to cook.
Yeah, there is a little supermarket down the way.
Yeah.
But again, if you want to have food made for you, just the Caribou Cafe is probably the place to go.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. We actually brought Kim back food.
Yeah, we did. I felt so bad.
Free Ubers.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, no, Ubers for traveling. What's the other one?
Uber Eats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. DoorDash is the think the one you were thinking of. But Uber Eats is the thing, so you're still right.
But what time have we got? 54 minutes.
Hey, dude, if we add the digging, that's a perfect podcast length right there.
At the end of this video, I will put in 15 minutes of Theo struggling to walk. And okay, so think about a little side tangent here as well. For those that don't make content, most of us are like doing the filming, the digging, the editing, and everything else by ourselves.
Absolutely.
I brought it up that it'd be nice to be able to afford to pay someone to hang out with us.
Yeah.
Have them do all the filming and then have them do all the do all the editing.
I'm fine with the editing. It's really, especially when we're doing digging, like, I need both my hands.
Yeah.
And you can't wear a chest mount because all you're going to be looking at is dirt. You can't use a head mount because all you're going to be looking at is dirt. You can use a tripod, but you can't really, like, see up inside of it very well. So, like, when I have Alexis with me, she offers to, like, help record, and that's a huge help. Like, I'm fine editing. It's the filming during digging that is, like, so freaking difficult.
It's a shame that I didn't have Kim record me recording you, because, like, I was, like, in a really weird position, like, right behind
you were.
I'm like, I gotta get the footage.
Shot. Which is funny, because you got the footage of me pulling the log out. I actually didn't get any footage of me pulling the log out for my video, as I didn't have any way to film me digging, so I got befores and afters. But you got the actual, like, extraction.
I had to get it, because, like, you put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, that was a long time. And it's so funny, because I was telling both you and Kim this, because I just think it's so funny how the tables turn when you find yourself in those positions. So the person who gave me the directions was telling me about how one person spent 3 days digging out a 3-foot log while they were there. I was like, why'd you waste so much time digging out, like, a 3-foot log? Why would you waste that time doing that when you could find more smaller stuff? You know, that's just a waste of time. And then I was faced with a 3-foot log, and I did not want to walk away from it. I was like, I will not leave this hole until I get this thing out of here.
Well, even with Kim's log too, like,
yeah.
we don't want to leave with her, like, just the log staying in there, because you don't know how far deep it goes.
Exactly.
And it's not just like, oh, just digging it out, and you have to get rid of the overburden, especially here. There's no question about it, because, like, you can't get any further in.
Yeah, you can't just, like, see it and pull it out. Like, you got to dig all the way around it.
And I think hers, there's probably, like, 2 feet of overburden?
Yeah, it was crazy. There was so much, because it was actually, luckily with mine was like, if this is the hole, picture this being the hole, mine was kind of like right here. So I didn't have to move a whole bunch of stuff. Whoever dug the spot that Kim found, it was like dug in. It was back, and the log was literally at the very back of that hole. There was like no way you could get into it. So it was like 45 minutes of just digging overburden before we could even touch the log.
And that was like towards the end of the day too. So
yeah.
Like, I finished up. I helped out a little bit.
Yeah, we were so exhausted at that point.
Yeah, but she got her log.
She did. She got it. It's real nice.
It's a good thing it probably didn't go any further, because I thought I found another log too, and because, like, once Theo got done with the hole, he dug a little bit more in that hole, and then he was like, all right, I'm taking a break because I'm tired.
I'm so tired.
So I got in the hole, and I was trying to find, because, like, the hole that he was in produced a log, but it produced, like, a bunch of, like, the really nice, like, 7-inch. Like,
yeah, like
stick.
the blue round, yeah.
So it was producing, like, a lot of stuff, and I found a few small things in there, and I didn't do, like, really as much recording as I would have liked to have done, just because it's really hard to
dig and film. It's really difficult.
It's hard.
Yeah, it really is.
Because you have to keep in the mindset, like, if you have the camera going, it had been over 100 degrees.
It was awful. It was so hot.
Sun and electronics do not mix.
Oh gosh.
So you have to have in the back of your mindset, okay, my camera's recording. It's going to be in the sun for too long. It's going to overheat. It's going to mess everything up. And I think I've had phones even shut down, but like, I'm sorry, I'm over, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I thought I had found, like, a round that was, like, over a foot in diameter, and I'm like, because, like, Kim and Theo are in the other hole, like, trying to get that out, and I'm like, I think I found another one, and I'm like, it was a pretty good sized round, and I don't know if it's the stromatolite or what, but part of me wonders if it was maybe a void where the wood was, and then it didn't fill in like it should have with the silicates.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have, like, stayed later to dig that. Just like
we would have stayed into the night to get that out. Like, we could see agate and, like, good wood grain, like, proof. Yeah, we would have been there.
Yeah.
However long it took.
Unfortunately, it broke apart. I don't think I recorded it, but, like, it was, like, coming out in chunks. I'm like,
yeah,
it's not worth it. I'm like, it's not worth it. And it's filled in the hole. I'm like, all right, we're done with this hole. But it was a good experience. Definitely come back. I definitely recommend to anyone that wants to come rock out in this area.
Yes, absolutely. And on a similar note, next time Kurt and Karen calling you out, you gotta come with us. You better be there. Be there with us. But seriously, like, I don't know if you've ever like talked with someone for a good amount of time, but never met them in person, and you just meet them in person for the first time. Like, dude, it didn't even feel like that at all.
No, I felt like we've been like rock hounding for like.
Pretty much, but I feel like that's also because we've been like literally doing a podcast together for like 2 years. So like 1 to 3 hour long conversations once a week or every other week. So it was more like I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. There was no like warm up period. It was just like, hey, no, I've always known you. They're like, great.
It was really funny. So like Amy was like, when you guys first met, did you guys like say hi, or like what's going on? And I'm like, oh, like as soon as like I opened the door, like he's like, come here, buddy.
I literally was just like, come here. Big hug.
But no, it was a fun experience to finally meet you in person and
heck yeah, man.
Be able to do some rock counting. We're gonna have to do some more planning next year to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we got to make like podcast meetup like a yearly thing because this was so much fun. Yeah, I can't imagine all 4 of us in one spot. That would be like way too much fun.
But it was fun.
And honestly, that'd be about the perfect. Well, not for you guys.
If I planned it,
I was gonna say if none of us would be traveling equal distance, but Kemmer is pretty much the perfect middle point between. Because you guys are roughly in the same spot.
Yeah.
You and Karen are roughly in the same spot. Kurt's down in Colorado and I'm up in Montana. Like, Kemmer pretty much is like the perfect middle point. But if we all just head in the same direction, we will meet up at about the Blue Forest. So
I mean, if anything, like even though because it's like a 7 or 8 hour drive for you, and I think it's a few hours for Kurt.
It's 6.5 hours for me, and I think when we looked at it, it was 7 or 8 for Kurt.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like 15 for you guys.
But still, like, even if we like plan that in advance, like we can always set spots like on the way here.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of ground to cover.
So it's not like it'd be like, oh, we're gonna hoof it there and like be there. I think next time I want to plan it out in advance where I hit other stops on the way in and just take my time.
Yeah.
Because like being in a rental car, you have like that thing in the back of your head, like you had to be back on a certain time and a certain day.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, because like after that, it's like the meter's just running. It's like, all right.
There's also a huge level of stress when in a rental car going on, because rock hounding sites don't really have the best roads.
Oh, that's why I had to leave Glass Butte early. I intended to go to Glass Butte for just a little bit to have lunch.
Yeah. Because
Obsidian's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, minus the claim sites, but still, you can go out to a lot of the places and be like, piece of Obsidian. Highlight. Piece of Obsidian. But it's a lot of the roads I couldn't go down because they were the Carmen doesn't have like pretty high clearance.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do this. Like, I gotta turn around and like kind of go back. But I at least got a little bit of Obsidian. Had lunch. It was a nice little stop.
No, heck yeah.
But next time, I'd like to take my truck and just camp out a few times, and that way, if the money I'm not spending on hotels, it's going to go towards gas. And eventually, it's kind of even out a little bit.
You could do like a 7-day trip.
Yeah.
And do like 3 days over. Rockhound all the way. Then you get 1 day Blue Forest, 1 day Kemmer, and like you could do 2 days back.
What I'd like to do is in a future trip, Glass Butte. Actually, you think about this? Yeah, Glass Butte, maybe Hampton Butte for a little bit, just a little bit of digging.
Yeah.
I already have Hampton Butte in the pile out back. I don't need more. I have the specimens I want. It's more about the adventure and having the experience of like, hell, I dug this myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit Glass Butte and then straight over to Wyoming to do like more fossils, more Blue Forest, but then also come back down, go to Utah to Topaz Mountain, and then the Trilobite Mine.
I want to do that so bad. I want to do that so bad. Honestly, like full-on scribes are kind of like sketchy with trilobites. They like just because there's so much vibration involved. The one you got like engraver style actually might be better for that kind of prepping.
I've seen people use even just wire brushes.
Yeah, honestly, air abrasion is the best for trilobites. They had some like prep your own trilobites
that
they were selling with the scribes, and I almost bought one just because I have an air abrasion kit, and I just want any excuse to use it now that I have it.
You should technically you still could go buy one. I mean, they open at 8.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long to really get there.
Yeah, it really didn't. I feel like Kim would be not impressed with me.
It's like,
Kim's seriously. It also heavily depends on how her eyes are doing tomorrow. Because our original plan was we were going to go hunt for jade, and then go hunt for more banded iron. And then probably stop 1 or 2 other spots on the way back. But if she's not doing good, we'll probably just go straight back. But Kim's a freaking trooper, though, so I'm knowing her should probably still be like, well, we're still going to start with the banded iron spot. It's like, okay.
Well, we didn't really do introductions. We didn't do
We literally didn't. We were just like, let's just chat.
If you don't know who we are by now.
What are you doing? Why are you here?
Well, words of wisdom, we can at least do that.
Words of wisdom. Don't be put off by a price tag. I think when you, especially on a trip like this, there's a lot of finances that go into it. And it's theoretically, it's this is going to be really expensive to pull off. 4-day trip to Wyoming, 8-hour drive. The dig itself is $650, and that means we have to get hotel rooms, all the gas. I promised you, it actually wasn't as much as I was expecting. The final dollar amount was not as much as I had budgeted originally. And I feel like that's usually the case when I do trips like this. It's I've got this number in my head, and you actually do the math. Look up the room prices, look up the dig prices, add it all together, and you're like, oh, dude, that's $400 cheaper than I had planned.
Yeah, I tried to plan everything out, and I haven't looked at my bank account yet because I didn't really take it into account for food.
Yeah, I haven't either. I haven't looked at my bank account.
I was gonna check before you got in. You're
yeah, I'll just
wait.
Exactly. But I've found that usually happens, and I've also found that a lot of people, if money's a little tight, you won't even think about the trip. Because you won't even look at the prices because you're afraid of how much it's going to cost, or you've already convinced yourself that you can't afford it.
Yeah.
You may find that those trips are actually cheaper and more easily affordable than you'd think. You could do this trip for obviously because we bought 2 private digs that added a lot to the total budget, but the 8-hour day. It's $100 per person.
Yeah.
That's great, that's not bad at all. You don't have to do 650. You can do 100 and still have an equal experience. You don't need to even stay in hotels. If it's nice out, camp. There's so much BLM land in Wyoming and just out west in general, Montana. You can legally camp on any BLM land, and it's free.
Tax dollars pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. So if lodging is something that puts you off, just find some place to camp, because even campgrounds are cheaper than hotels.
I mean, realistically too, the only difference you're getting out of camping versus a hotel room is a shower, decent shower.
Yeah,
and a decent toilet.
Which I really appreciated the shower after how freaking filthy we were.
Yeah. Both days, it's covered in. I feel like we're dirtier
today than we were yesterday. I think, yeah.
You can just be. My wallet. I took my wallet out and I set it out. And I saw the. I'm
I've dusted my shoes off for the most part, but these, believe it or not, are royal blue. Right now they look like gray color. I don't know if that's in frame or not, or if I'm just out here. I'll do this better. There we go.
Yeah, my boots are typically brown. They're not brown right now.
No, they are not. They look like gunmetal gray.
Yeah. But,
so yeah, my words of wisdom would be, don't be intimidated by prices, or don't let prices intimidate you from even thinking of planning or dreaming. Don't let a price stop you from your dreams. Don't let your dreams be dreams either. Just do it.
I guess I'll kind of add on to that. Do it for the memories.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my words of wisdom, because I love rock hounding. but I have a really hard time going long distances. I don't like driving long distances. I'm actually really good on the way here. Because my thing is, like, I get tired sometimes, and, like, sometimes I can feel like my eyes, it's like, when I, like, start closing, I'm like, no. I had the music cranked, but I don't like long-distance driving at all. But it was worth it. I wouldn't have, changed my mind if I had to go back and do it again. Like, I would do it again. Because Amy's like, you should do it, because, like, it's not often you go that far. It's a new place. It's an adventure. You get to find some, like new stuff, and even my friend, he's like, hey, take lots of pictures. I'm like, well, I'm taking a lot of video, so
yeah, exactly.
So if anything, I can take a screenshot of those videos.
Yeah, just pull screen grabs.
But no, it's nice to do it for the memories. Like, even if I didn't find because I didn't find. I don't even remember what's my bucket anymore for the Blue Forest Wood.
I know at this point it's like I remember the two main ones. I don't remember the other stuff that I found because that felt like so long ago.
Yeah, I know I didn't. At least I'm pretty sure I didn't find like any like massive like logs.
Yeah,
but still, it's like
you did find that one though that has the fork.
Oh, that's right.
That is so cool.
I think I had to glue that one together.
But
like,
still,
I set it down like just very gingerly, just broke in half.
But still, like that's a perfect branch fork. Like that's gonna be really really cool.
But that's gonna just stay in my personal collection because like technically you can't sell stuff off BLM.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was happy with like finding the stuff I did without having to really like over collect. Like I don't have a lot of storage space. Like so I'm happy with like the smaller things. But it's good memories. It's fun adventures, and that's really what it's about. Like
heck yeah, man.
I've gone a lot of places. Like I don't need to collect a whole lot.
Yeah,
I have like 13 tons of rock on my backyard. Like, this is more for just like getting out, enjoying nature, and like even when I got to Glass Butte, stepping out of the car because again blaring the music the entire way there.
Yeah,
it's like I step out and it's just like
silent,
dead silence.
Oh, it's so peaceful.
It's like.
It is seriously like so calming. I love it so much. It was that way when we got to. Wait, where was it? It was yesterday morning. I heard you record a clip. And you're like, it's so quiet.
Yeah,
I can hear Theo's footsteps, and he's like 300 yards away from me.
Yeah, it's crazy like how sound travels like when there's like nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh,
I forgot I made that clip of finding that crashed spaceship. It's just literally like a 10-foot, I think, pretty like a balloon of some kind.
Yeah.
But
it's a weird balloon. No, convince you otherwise.
Do it for the memories.
Do it for the memories, and don't be afraid of how much it might cost you, because you might find it will cost less than you think. But
they make money every day.
They do. Exactly. And places like Kemmerer, like. I'm not saying you should go out and sell rocks, but like the owner literally told us like one specimen that we found would have paid for our entire like day at Kemmerer. So it's a return investment sometimes. Sometimes.
But yeah, consensus is coming back. I think next time we're gonna do just the public. To dig it for the fish fossils.
I think so.
As kind of a comparison, because I was really curious. I know we're supposed to end the pod, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, how often are we like physically in the same place?
It might be next year.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was actually genuinely curious about like whether people were finding like in the public area. Like there's a few people there today, but I was really curious because like they're like walking around with like these trolleys of like slabs that they're cutting up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I want to know what they're finding too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. So I feel like the private is the way to go, but I still want to see the main dig just to see how they compare. I feel like honestly the biggest like the two nice things about the private is the bigger rocks, which means bigger chance for death plates, and just the fact that you don't have strangers like walking over you.
Yeah, or sitting right next to you.
And honestly, as a bystander, that doesn't bother me too much. But when you're trying to make videos and you've got like some stranger that's just like, "Who are you? What are you doing? Hey, what is this? Sorry, I gotta get this rock right next to you."
Or they're like, because like for us, like. I don't think you swear in your videos either.
Oh, absolutely not.
And so, like, you run the risk of, like, people, like, talk about, like, whatever, like in the background. So you might catch, like inappropriate, like, language or like, whatever topics they might be talking about that's, like, not family-friendly.
Pretty much.
So you run that risk, too. But also, like, recording with other people is just, it's like for me, I'm not used to it. Like with like being with you, a different story because you know the whole bit of like kind of recording.
Yeah, exactly.
But the people that don't really understand like the whole process of like how to make a YouTube video.
Oh, it's awkward. Yeah. It's so awkward.
There's been times at home like I was trying to record like the big granite boulder in our front yard because I was trying to like explain a few things like why it cracked in the wintertime. So I'm like trying to make this video and like I see people like walking like just coming like closer. I'm like.
Yeah, you just.
I'm trying to make a phone call.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, I don't want to. Like, I'm sure if I was doing like, it's weird.
No, it's totally weird.
Because like you have people that make like these TikTok like dance challenges, like they're like dancing from their phones.
I don't know. Like those people must have no shame.
No shame.
Because like. Seriously, that happens to me all the time. Like, even when I was recording my video at the Rock Shed, I think that video came out on Saturday. If there was anyone out in the yard, like, I stopped filming while there were other people because I feel so awkward. But I found with, like, my collabs with Kim and Kate and, like, Rob and Wild Kyle and Paleo Chris, it's like, if you're with another YouTuber, there's none of that anxiety whatsoever. Yeah. It's like, instantly, you're just fine, and you don't need to worry about what they're thinking because they're doing the same thing.
Yeah. I think it's also like a community thing too. It's like if you're by yourself, it's weird. Like you're like
yeah.
But if you're like with other people, like oh whatever, like who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I came in and photobombed you while you were recording multiple times.
That's fine. I don't care.
Well, not like literally photobomb. Like I just see you were recording, so I'd like walk over so I could add my 2 cents because that's just what I do.
I don't care.
I think that's something I picked up from Wild Kyle because he always does that to me when I'm recording. Like, hey, what are you doing?
Are you making a video?
Yeah, you're making a video. What are you doing? What'd you find? Let me see it.
My thing is like I always would feel bad about recording with other people because often it takes me several tries to get like an outro and intro.
Yeah.
And it's like. There's been times, and I've even like told Jared this. Like, at one point, I was trying to do like I think it was an intro. It took me 70 times.
Oh man!
And I was like scrolling through like all the videos clips. There was like over 70 of them.
Oh my god!
Of me just trying to do an intro to a video.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of times, like I'll either not enunciate my word enough, or like my mouth gets dry, so I have to drink water.
Yeah.
And so that's why I left some of those clips in like videos where I'm just like drinking from the straight bottle.
Yeah.
It was the only water that was like there at the time.
Yeah.
But then like I get like several takes in, and I'm like, maybe I could say this differently.
Yeah.
Or like I just change the script in my head, and then it just like starts the whole process all over again.
No, I totally know what you mean.
And so like now, like if I were to do like other collaborations, like I'd have to like be very on point of like what I want to say, like how I want to say it. Without having to do like a bunch of retakes. I've had to do a few retakes since when I was here.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
I think it's just because I have no filter in my brain when I'm recording, which isn't necessarily, actually, it's not a good thing because I say random nonsense all the time, but like, I don't know, I just kind of blurt out whatever. Like, I used to try to plan intros and outros, but then I'd fumble over my words and like, what I was trying to say wouldn't come out, and then I end up with something different anyways. Now I'm just like, all right, basic idea of what we're doing. What are we doing today? We're slapping. Okay, well, let's just say that. Hey, everyone, today we're going to cut some rocks. All right, let's go cut some rocks. There's my intro. Bam, done.
I was actually this close to considering like doing an intro like Mr. Beast, like screaming like, today we're at the fossil quarry, like digging for fish fossils.
We're going to give all the fish fossils to people at Walmart.
But ultimately, like, I decided against that.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not my energy.
Yeah,
I'd probably do that and just immediately just be tired. I'm like,
it's like, wow, I just used all my energy for the day in 1 second. Yeah, I can't be like, I get hyped about the rocks and stuff, but I can't like, that's too much. It's too much energy.
Yeah. Don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, at the end of this video, I will put I mean, where we're at now? Hour 19?
Oh, that's not bad.
Probably another 15 minutes or so of Theo digging out a rock. I might just add the clips together and it felt good.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like enjoy the freebie at the end of this video.
Yeah, exactly. This is like behind the scenes footage of excavating that log. And it's funny too because I think you started and stopped like 3 or 4 times because it's like, all right, it's coming, it's wiggling. And then I'd keep digging. It's like, no, it's not ready to come.
Well, what was really happening is like, because like I was like in a weird position, so my leg was like cramping up. this was like, I almost gonna sit down for a bit.
It's so funny because like you didn't say anything about that, so I had like no idea what was going on behind me. Like I knew you were filming because you said you were gonna record, and I thought I'm just like in my zone, like digging, trying to get it out. I didn't know like
there was some funny commentary
because
like there was no wind in that pit.
Yeah,
you guys will see the clip here in a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I got it on video, but I was like, there's no wind in there. And I'm like, I could blow on your neck, but that'd be take it a little bit too far.
Yeah, I'm like, we're not there yet, Kyle.
It's also one of those things. Like, I'm sweating too. I'm like trying to like get the shot, and I'm like at this weird angle, but I can see like the sweat dripping on my pant leg. So I'm like, okay, don't drip the sweat on Theo. Is it raining?
Honestly, I wouldn't have cared. It's like I'm already filthy at this point. It's fine.
You can sell that shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweater on it. Kyle sweated on this shirt. He signed it too.
Legends say it's imbued with cerium oxide. Now that's the secret to high polish obsidian.
The sweat of Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's sweating tears.
If he wants a bird polishing, it's the tears.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
Well, we'll go ahead and end it here. So. Thanks, Theo, for doing an in-person podcast.
Heck yeah, man. Here, let's both put a thumbs up in the camera. We'll put this together somehow. I don't know how, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know, this is exciting. Like, first in-person podcast.
We'll have to do it again next time.
We will, with everyone. Karen and Kurt being called out for the second time.
We did try to, like...
Yeah, we really did.
It's okay. There will always be next time.
There will absolutely be a next time.
But this will do it for today's podcast. But we're not going to be done yet. Stick around for the bonus footage at the end of this video.
If you want to see me struggle hard, yeah, don't go anywhere.
So check out that video, and we'll see you all. See you all here very soon.
At some point in the future. Undisclosed amount of time. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
I'm doing the job of a state worker. I'm just watching. Theo's almost got a little log out.
Oh, it's moving.
Aerial view. Aerial view.
You guys. Look at the sides. Oh, this is exciting. Alright, come on. I see a wiggle. I don't know if it's ready yet, though. Definitely don't want to force it. I'm going to have to repair it either way, but I'd rather it come out in, like, easily repairable pieces. If I rush it, it might come out in, like, you know, a million pieces.
Which we don't.
Exactly. Oh, we're so close. I can feel how close we are, but... Feel the end of the piece right there.
Oh. I see it moving.
It's wiggling. It wants it. You want this.
You want this. I want this.
I want this. This is going to be good for both of us, I swear. Oh, come on. Split this up. I need a Lexus right now. Too tall for holes like this. Oh, you're so close. Oh, okay, now it's really wiggling.
You always put the other hammer on the other side of it as more leverage.
Yeah. I'm gonna dig this one in a little bit. And let's get, if I can assume the birthing stance.
can't get this one. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, I think that's just gonna come out. We're getting there. I think we're officially underneath it. Oh yeah, it's wiggling like crazy now. Just behave. Come out. Why you gotta be this way? Get out of here. Just come right back. Alright. Oh. Oh, dude, it wants it so bad. As much as I do. I think I just identified the problem. This side's gotta come on. Or at least come looser. Separate that. Come off, sir. Okay, missed. Okay. Some chunks right here. Oh. Oh, come on. Very gingerly. I know, I'm being so careful. Again, I know it's going to come out in multiple pieces. I'm going to have to repair it, and that's fine. But I need it to not come out in a million pieces. Manageable number, please. I need this to Ah, come on. Dude, behave. Just aren't gonna do it, aren't you?
Dude, you're so close. I can feel how close you are. Alright, we gotta move other stuff. It's not ready. Alright.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Man behind the curtains trying to record a video.
That didn't feel good.
I
hurt my knuckle.
I do it first they get in the truck or car.
That hurt.
I'll bill you later for it. That'd be $3,000, please. That's how hospitals work.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Why you don't go unless it's an emergency. It's like, looks like you bruised yourself. Okay, that's gonna be $1,000.
Oh, we don't know what's going on with you.
Yeah.
That'd be $4,000.
Yeah. This little piece wiggling now. Oh, we're getting there, dude. We're getting there. Oh, check. Okay, that is one of the pieces. I'm making sure to stop and check all those bark pieces because, oh god. Oh no. It's still going back farther. Okay. Alright.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Oh, it's wiggling, which sends the wrong message that it's ready, but it's not. There we go. Get this out of here. I think we are coming to the end of it though, which is huge. That's not actually a problem. That's a good thing. Maybe we are. I just want a break. Look at it.
We're almost there.
We're so close. Oh, it feels so good under the shade.
And look at a little overcast too, which is really nice.
So we have like shade squared right now.
Yeah. Literally. Well, kind of. It's a rectangle, but.
Yeah, because I brought the sidewall tarp, but I couldn't find my top tarp, so it was about half shade. All right. Okay, how are we going to get this out? I just want this going. Oh, God. Missed. It's a good thing there's a bunch of dirt there acting as a cushion, because that was almost bad. Yeah.
I can hear Theo's inner monologue right now. Once I'm done digging this log, I'm just going to surface collect for the rest of the day.
I'll probably find another pocket to dig later, but yeah, I'm absolutely like taking a break from specimens for a little while. Between this one and the other one, it's like, yeah, I'm good. I was not planning on freaking spending 3 hours on one piece today, but, here we are.
Hopefully it's not like a charred piece.
Oh, why'd you say that? It's going to be now.
No, it'll be nice. It'll be nice.
I've already seen some of the agate on the end, and I'm very excited to see it. I just don't want to rush it, because, yeah, as it sits right now, it'll be easy to prepare. Oh, you want to come out. This little piece is so close. So close.
Right behind you.
Okay, trying to find my chisel. Where did it go?
I'm not standing on it. No, I'm not standing on it.
Did I bury it?
I think you buried it.
I bet I buried it.
Oh, right there.
I'm good at doing that. This used to be a 5 set. I'm down to 2 now.
That's one thing for the ring.
I want this piece to move so I can get the other piece to move so I can get the other piece to move.
Get out of here. Move. Need you gone, sir. Why are you so huge? Okay, come on. Break.
Safety swims.
Pretty much. Moments like this, I'm thankful I wear glasses. My gosh. It's taking so long. Dude, you're so close. Just let go. Just let go. It's so mean. I hear the wind blowing the tarp, but I'm so far down in the hole that I can't feel any of the wind, so... Oh man, that's just mean.
I'd offer to blow on your neck, but that'd be kind of a little too much.
I don't know you that well. Oh, you're coming. I can feel it. You're about to let go. Come on. You're so close. It's just this little piece. Once this little piece moves, we've got a straight shot. That's why I keep trying to get this out of the way. Dude, we're so close. Come on. Come let go of this. Actually, you know what? Let's go right
here. That log is making you work for it.
Dude, yeah, it is. It really is. Putting me to work. Oh, I feel like, look at that. That's so mean. It's like loosely wiggling. Okay, I think we're actually under it now. Like, it's literally... Oh my gosh. Seriously.
There's a bunch of cuffs on that.
Okay. All right. Where do we have to go next? All right, this is wiggling. Okay, I think that is actually the end of the log. Yep. Checking that. Okay, there's none of the bark detail on that piece. Great, this is taking. You could just post this video as this week's podcast.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Theo digs out a log for 2 hours. Actually isn't a bad idea now that I think about it. I said it as a joke, but that's actually a good idea.
We can still do like a mini podcast.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was thinking we can always do that tomorrow when we get done.
Yeah.
That way we can just show our show and tells.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, here's all the stuff we've been finding. All right, now that that's out of the way, enjoy Theo digging for 2 hours. Oh, come on.
Also, if anything, like, spoilers to anyone else who's watching, I can also upload this on the podcast channel. You can always download it from home, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can conserve your SD cards for
Yeah.
tomorrow.
For camera. Let's go.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. It's still going back.
Look at that. That's the layer in between the algae and the wood.
Wow.
See, the wood is right here. Oh, no, that's... Wait, what? I'm confused now. Is it this right here? Oh my gosh.
Sure is windy, I'll tell you what.
It really is. Alright, that took way freaking longer than I thought it was going to. Wind picked up like crazy. Just because of the nature of how this is in the stone. Okay. Definitely coming out multiple pieces, that's fine. They're pretty clean, so I should be able to repair it very, very easily. But the moment is finally here. It is about ready to come out. I'm so happy. Alright, I'll be back momentarily.
Oh, to your left.
What?
Nice.
Dude. Look at that bubbly goodness. Oh, it goes all the way around. Okay. Let's put it right here.
You're just in time for the party.
Okay. Next piece is coming. Oh my god. Come on, you're so close. Gotta get this bugger out of the way. That's not this is blocked. Okay, so I've got this will go like that.
Oh my god, you're almost there.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
That's the middle section.
Where's... You want me to find my...
Yeah, I want to see this.
You want to spray it?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, it's covered in... Oh,
Nice.
it's completely covered in an agate.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Holy cow, that's gorgeous.
That is so freaking cool.
Wow.
At that moment, Theo found his log for the day.
Pretty much, man. This is so much work to get out, and it's definitely going to need to get repaired. Okay, so we're going to put that right
Especially
here.
that one down there.
Yeah. So this will go right.
Ew, it's like agate banding and stuff.
Isn't that cool? Okay, so we've got
That's gorgeous.
1, 2. Trying to keep these together. So it's
Ooh, did
easier
you
for
look at this
later.
one?
Yeah, that attaches to it.
Wow.
No, that's the top part. These go right here. I might need that bubble wrap.
This one is really beautiful right here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Might need the bubble wrap.
Yeah, you
Oh, gosh.
need to.
Okay.
Don't lose the pieces.
I know. That's why I'm like
Okay, let me get out
very
of the way
carefully putting
before I
everything.
collapse your...
So it's gonna go right here, there, right here. There's so much calcetti. Look at the blue. Wait a second. Oh my gosh. Look at the blue.
Look at that.
Here, let me get in the sun. Look at
Nice.
that blue.
Really gorgeous.
Oh my goodness. I did not expect to find one of these today.
Look at this. Theo.
Whoa! Did you just find that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
That's
Those are quartz crystals. All the other ones I've seen have been calcite. That's really cool.
Right?
All right, now the other half of the bottom third is still not ready yet, apparently. Oh, no, there it is. Never mind. Now, are you going to come out in one piece? Yes. Oh, that'll make my life way easier.
Nice.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, no. Okay, we're just going to, every single piece is going to go over here. Oh, that's going to be nice. Oh, wait for it. Wait. Look at all the bots. That's literally a seam of bots all the way down.
Nice. That was worth it.
Oh yeah, that was definitely worth it. I'm gonna put that right there.
All right.